Since you clicked on this video, you're probably thinking about making content, and I think you should do it because introverts make some of the best content creators. Because being an introvert just means that you get your energy from being alone. So if you get your energy from being alone, then you probably spend a good amount of time alone, which means if you use that time productively, you can put in the hours to become really good at content creation. So it's like you have all of this time that you're spending by yourself, so make sure you're using that in a way that's beneficial to you. And if you make videos, you can just talk about your life, talk about the things that you like just sit in your room like I am and record videos and try and post them as much as you can. Because if you do that, if one of them goes viral, it can completely change your life. And if you do it consistently, it will change your life, because eventually these things just work out because you have unlimited attempts at going viral or building a following. And sometimes you don't even want to go viral. Like, making slow progress is sometimes better than going viral, because if you go viral for the wrong thing, then you'll kind of get pigeonholed. I'm getting a little sidetracked, but the point is, you can make a huge difference in the world with your content, and you have all of this time that you're spending by yourself. So don't use it on social media, Netflix, video games. Don't spend too much time on those things, because it will eat up the rest of your life, and your life is so important that how you spend your time is your life. So make sure you're spending your time in a way that is meaningful to you, that could actually help someone, because someone could really benefit from what you have to say. You have to really truly believe this. You have to ingrain this belief in yourself that, like, what I have to say is important, so therefore I should put it out there because someone might really benefit from it. Like, there's someone on the other side of the screen who's just like you, who could really use your content to help them in their own lives. So it's like, it's kind of being selfish by not making content, by not saying what you have to say, especially if you have an inclination to do it. It's like you should follow that, because it's not just you who's benefiting from it. Of course you are, but it's also the viewer. It's also what you have to say. It's also the other person on the side of the screen, on the other side of the screen, who's watching your video, who's looking for advice. And yeah, of course, it takes time to get to the point where it really hits those people and shows up on their homepage. But it's worth spending that time, because then you can develop and become a better content creator in the time where not that many people are watching. So it's like, it's so important to do this as an introvert, because one, for your own life, like, you will benefit, you'll feel better, you'll feel proud of yourself, you'll do something that's kind of difficult, which is like gonna benefit your own mental health. So that's one. Two, it's gonna benefit the other person on the other side of the screen. So it's like, I don't really see a reason not to do it if you have this desire to do it. But the reason people don't do it is because they're afraid of judgment. So how do you get over the fear of judgment? Well, your desire to do it, like the reason of doing it, has to be greater than the fear of judgment, because both things will exist, right? People will judge you. That's going to happen. Whenever you do something publicly, people will judge you. But you have to value what you have to say and your message and your ability to help people with your content more than people judging you. Or, like, for me, I make comedy skits on Instagram, and yeah, sometimes I feel like cringe, like, posting a video, but I still want to post consistently because I want to make people laugh. And, like, people have come up to me and they've been like, yo, I loved that video. But I have to sit through kind of like the uncomfortable feeling of the people who don't like it, who are like judging me for posting comedy on Instagram. Like, some people think like Instagram comedians are cringe. Well, I don't. I like making videos. I enjoy watching comedy skits too. So, like, I want to make that. So that's what I do. So same thing with these videos. Like, of course, some people think it's cringe to, like, give advice to your camera, whatever. I don't know. People may judge this. I don't think it's cringe, because I'm like, I want to help the person on the other side of the screen. So it's like, if you value your own message, your own desire to create more than the judgment of other people, that's when you'll get started. So then, how do you convince yourself that your message is valuable? Well, one, think about the other person on the other side of the screen who could really benefit. Maybe it's someone like you. Maybe it's someone like you 5 years ago. Maybe it's someone like you 6 months ago. But that person could have used the advice that you have learned in the 6 months or 5 years since you have been that person. So it's like, think about that person more than the people who are judging you. That's one. Two, think about if you think about, like, the regret you would feel if you just never did this. Because so many people get to the end of the sorry, my throat's a little dry. So many people get to the end of their lives and they regret not getting started. They regret not putting themselves out there in any way. They regret not following their passions. Like, this is like one of the most regretted things of old people. So we don't want to be like that, right? So the way to not be like that is to get started. It's to follow your passions. It's to actually try. Because You only get one life. Like people say this all the time, but it's so true. How you spend your time is your life, and you only get one life. So it's like, if you want to do this, you should totally do it because it will help people. Like if you can't convince yourself to do it for yourself, do it for other people. And don't let people's judgment control you and stop you from doing it, because then you're letting them win. Then you're letting the world become more like that, more like judgmental and less creative and less people expressing themselves, less content creators, whatever. You're making the world more judgmental by not doing it, by letting that stop you. And then here's the other thing. When you let other people stop you, if you kind of become judgmental to other people. You know, I know this because before I got started, I was accepting other people judging me, and then I noticed myself judging other people in a way that they would judge me. So it's like, it kind of corrupts your own gut feeling, that desire to create, the desire to, like, you know, post the video or just express yourself. It kind of corrupts that, and then you can cast that to other people, and you don't want to do that because you don't want to corrupt that part of yourself that wants to help people, that wants to put out content, that wants to like express themselves. You don't want to corrupt that because that's you. You know what I mean? Like you have so many different parts of you, because human beings are pretty complex. But one part of you is the part that wants to like put out videos, that wants to express something to the world. So don't shut that part of you down, because it's important. And what you have to say could make a big difference in the world. You don't know until you try. So I think it's really important, especially as an introvert, because you have all of this free time. So it's like all of this time that you like to spend alone. So it's like, if you have this time that you like to spend alone, use it in a way that's productive. And it's okay if people judge it. Of course they will. But it will be meaningful to the person viewing it eventually, once it gets good. Yeah, at first, maybe no one really watched it. Maybe you get no comments. That's fine. Sometimes my videos get no comments. That's totally fine. But if you keep doing it, then you get the comment that said, like, this video really helps me. And that feels good enough and should be enough to keep you going. So don't let people hold you back from getting started on doing the things that you are meant to do. And listen, I know it's not easy at first. It takes time and courage to really put yourself out there. But even though it won't be easy at first, it will be worth it. Life's not easy, but it's worth it. Take care.